It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
That was a big hello again.
I know.
Hello.
You like it? Hello.
Well, I'm just trying to make up because Aaron has just tried our intro and annihilated us both.
It was very insulting, wasn't it?
I feel attacked. Absolutely attacked.
But, I mean, we're
just
still...
Just because he's wearing a Christmas hat
That's what I was going to say.
He can say what he wants and get away with that.
We are still in a Christmas mood. We may, have taken different photos and maybe don't have our hats on, but Aaron still has his hat on.
Me surgically will have to remove it by the looks of it. Although I don't think I'll ever forgive him for how he's just spoken about us. I do feel truly attacked.
I know.
Here, are we going to have like nice wee jingly jangly like music, like Christmas bells and all in the background for our intro this week, Aaron?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm giving him more work today.
Absolutely.
Don't insult us.
No one insults me and gets away
work.
with it. He'll never work again. Anyway, aren't you lucky, you lovely lot, that we're back again? Ho, ho, ho. What? Why are you laughing at me?
Oh, aren't you glad we're back again?
I'm in a bit of a mischievous...
Mischievous?
I mean, tomato.
I think both are right.
Mischievous.
Yeah. Carry on with what you were saying there, Lauren.
No,
because I've lost my train of thought. I'm in a bit of a cheeky mood today. I think it links in with what we're going to talk about, maybe.
Oh, why are you in a cheeky mood?
Because I'm a bit like the elf on the shelf.
Oh yeah, do you do that?
I suppose we have to be very careful what we say, don't we? No elf visited. No elf visits my house.
Oh, okay.
Thank goodness, because I couldn't be coping with that.
No.
The magic would be well and truly gone because I would just lift it and chuck it out the window.
Especially if it gets up to all those naughty things.
What happens if you lift it? Do you not get presents and stuff?
To the North Pole.
Oh, and that's it?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some parents should just lift them on purpose.
I don't know, maybe some of those things, those naughty
elves. Has the elf on the shelf arrived in your house?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, what's he done?
It's
so
okay.
far?
This year's slightly different to previous years where there was a lot of magic around it. Well, we don't have this same fear of it going back to the North Pole.
Got you.
So it's a different year, but it's kind of been a little bit exciting because
has he still been a bit of a
not too bad because instead of maybe there's more people involved in doing it. So yeah,
I hear. Yeah, no, don't miss it. Not missing out.
Do you even have one in school? No?
I do have an elf in school. And funny, the elf in school is, it's not one of those naughty elves. It's just a lovely ornament that sits on my shelf.
Oh, so it does what it says.
It's just a lovely wee elfy ornament. But
nice.
They do have to guess the name of my elf every year. And the name of my elf comes from this week's musical.
Does it?
It does, because it's really blooming hard to guess. I kind of do it like Exeosies, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to give me a letter and then I'll fill it in.
Oh.
It's really good.
Exeosies Hangman.
That's it. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of yin or yang, as you said in the last episode.
Shush, we all make mistakes.
Indeed. I mean, you've just fixed 3 of mine and we're only 4 minutes into this episode.
Here, we're meant to be all sparkly, jolly, twinkly.
Hey, yay.
Yeah, it's Christmas. It's one step closer to Christmas.
And you still haven't got your tree up.
I know, but let's just not talk about that. It is up, it is. Yeah, look, it's lovely. It's lovely in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Shall we get cracking then?
Yeah, with this week's musical.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's Elf the musical.
Oh, you see, you said that with a really big smile.
Yeah, because I take it you're not a fan.
It's not that I'm not a fan. I'm only really recently introduced to Elf the Musical.
So the idea of it for me was a bit like, really? I'm not so sure that's a good idea. And then I have had the opportunity to work on it, a production of it, and like it was very much great fun. It was really good. Like, and it's a good
musical,
good Christmas. Roll it out.
Yes,
there's more to it for me than maybe our White Christmas was at the beginning of the week,
which is fair.
Yeah. But again, it's just it's just a bit more modern.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So. And I think that's all it is. But yeah, it's a musical based on the motion picture of the same name that starred Will Ferrell. Farrell.
I can never get it.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell? No, that's somebody different. Will Ferrell.
It's Farrell, isn't it?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Farrell.
Can you believe that movie came out in 2003?
I know.
Which is 20 years ago.
And it's one of the 3 Christmas movies I do watch.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say you never mentioned it, but I think you did.
Santa!
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
a good one.
It's brilliant. And he is absolutely brilliant in it, like.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. But the movie is really good. And have you ever, watched the series on Netflix about the movies that made us?
No.
So it's a great series on Netflix about loads of different movies that would have been in your childhood or are really popular now, and Elf is one of them, and it's got a great story about how it was actually made.
Oh wow, right, okay.
A bit similar to this musical, which we'll probably go into.
Okay, cool. Well, the musical with the score by Matthew Schuyler, who we might know from The Prom and The Wedding Singer.
Absolutely.
Fame, and Chad Begillin.
I think that's it, yeah.
Begelin. Mm-hmm. The book was adapted by Bob Martin and Thomas Meehan, whatever, from that 2003 film.
Yes.
So yeah.
You know them from maybe Drowsy Chaperone.
That's it, exactly. The musical ran on Broadway, again, in the Christmas season.
Yeah.
2010 into 2011, and then again 2012 into 2013. And then it came to the West End 2015-16.
Yeah.
It's had endless tours in the UK, 2017, 18, 19 and 20. Mm-hmm. And then it has kind of taken up residency in London's Dominion Theatre over the last 2 Christmas seasons. So it was in the Dominion at Christmas time last year, 2022. And it's going in...
No, it's back.
Sorry, it was in 2022 and then again in 2023 last year, and then it's back again until January the 6th.
It is. Yep, January the 6th, 2024.
So that's the Dominion Theatre in London, and I was in London at the weekend.
How exciting.
Yeah, and it's all the billings up in front of the theatre and all. It's very exciting. So,
and did it feel very festive?
Yeah, and for a kid to go and see a show like that at Christmas, they must absolutely be buzzing.
Yeah, it must be, and I think it is a big family movie, a bit like musical, a bit like the movie.
Yeah,
it's a good family one to watch.
And again, a bit like the toys and Santas in the North Pole that started as a workshop in 2009. And then it officially opened for a limited holiday engagement in the Al Hirschfield Theatre in Broadway in 2010. Directed by Casey Nicholaw.
Yep.
He directed it, yeah.
Yeah. So. There's some really big names attached to it.
Yeah. And
attached to the workshop and how it actually got made. And we all know I love a good documentary.
Never.
Yeah. On YouTube, I found a great guy, which I'm sure our listeners will appreciate. His channel is Wait in the Wings.
Okay.
And he looks at, him and a couple of friends, they look at musicals and they break them down into half an hour sort of slots, but they tell you all about the background. And one of them I watched was about Elf.
Oh, okay.
And it was just really interesting about how Elf took a while to get made. And how New Line Cinema had agreed that yes, it could be a musical from the premiere of the movie. So way back in 2003.
But wow. So they weren't holding on to it. They were happy to like let it become other things.
But difficulties because New Line was then bought over by Warner Brothers. So then it was a whole different production, producers, all of that. But the producers, whenever they came to see one of the very, not haphazard, but, it was a run through that was, I think they had like Sharpies and cardboard boxes and all of that. The producers decided to take the meeting because they thought even if the musical would flop, that they would make enough money in Amdram and tours. Yeah, which it's not. It hasn't flopped, but that is how it has made its money.
Well, no, it didn't, because like the original production of the musical broke box office records at the Hirschfeld Theatre. 3 times, grossing over $1 million in 1 week. And it was the 3rd best grossing show for the 2010 Thanksgiving weekend, behind Wicked and Lion King.
I know.
So, it did really well.
Yeah, it was the show that actually pushed Wicked off the top bill.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's class.
Weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
To push Wicked off the top bill?
I know.
Listen, if there's anybody out there who's been living under a rock for a very long time, the story of Elf, it's a hilarious tale of Buddy the Elf, who is actually a young orphan child who is mistakenly crawls into Santa's bag of gifts and is transported back to the North Pole. Hilariously unaware, that he is actually a human, but his enormous size and poor toy-making abilities cause him to have to face the truth.
Yeah.
Bless him. So with Santa's permission, always important, folks, to get Santa's permission, but he embarks on a journey. He embarks on a journey back to New York City to find his birth father, discover his true identity, and help New York remember the true meaning of Christmas, making everybody embrace their inner elf.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like it.
Oh, yeah, no, it is lovely. And I think even the film at the end has that really nice message of working together and remember the ethos of whatever it is you celebrate over the holidays and being together. And it's nice. So.
That's it. And it is hilarious. And I like a laugh.
You do. You love a wee laugh, don't you?
I do love a wee laugh, yeah. Shall we do some musical lyrical lingos then? Yeah. What has it taught you?
So, in the movie Christmas Town.
The movie Christmas Town? In the musical number Christmas Town in the North Pole. Christmas Town's in the North Pole. Did you know that?
I didn't.
There you go.
Jing-a-ling-a-ling. It talks about Aurora Borealis.
Yes.
So I just thought I would go into a wee bit more detail about what that is. Do you know what that is?
I do, because it was on my musical lyrical lingo list too. What is the Aurora Borealis?
Northern or southern lights, natural light display in the Earth's sky.
Southern lights is Aurora Australis.
Aurora
Borealis is northern lights.
Northern lights, because he's in the North Pole.
Yeah.
The Aurora Borealis.
And did you know there was such a thing as the Aurora Watch List?
The Aurora Watch List? Never heard of it. What is that?
It is a website where you can go on and you can see if you can see Aurora Borealis from where you are. Usually you can see it in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and obviously the North Pole. You can see it in other places, but I just mean you can quite commonly see it in these places.
Never seen it.
Well, I have actually seen it. I've been to the North Pole, so I have actually seen it. But
oh, that's so cool. I would love that.
I went to see Santa.
Oh.
I know him.
Yeah.
I know Santa!
But yeah, people do really, really love seeing it because they think that it is magical. So that's why there was a watch list created.
That's really cool.
I know.
Very good. In Christmas Town, they also sing about life is just so Christmassy, it's hard to grow up callous.
Yeah.
I like that word, callous.
Do you?
Heartless.
Is that what that means? I always thought callous was hard.
Heartless. Well, maybe it means more than one thing.
Okay.
But in this case, I always just thought a callus was something hard on the base of your foot.
Yeah, I think that's why I thought it was hard.
I was like, oh, sharrup it is. I know a good
It's
one.
actually a chiropodist.
So I get it wrong all the time. Yeah, very good. Any other musical lyrical lingos?
World's Best Dad.
It's a great
It is.
song.
It is a very nice song. Apropos.
Apropos.
Oh, okay.
It's the lyric is a scene inside a snow globe. It's a very apropos globe.
Yeah. So that word
Apropos globe.
Thank you. It means to introduce something that you're going to say, which is related to the subject you have been talking about.
In English, please.
I know. So to introduce something that you're going to say, which is related to the subject you have been talking about.
You've just repeated exactly what you said the first time. Do you care to develop any further?
I'm trying to get it in my head.
Me too, because I was because this isn't another one of my musical lyrical lingos, and I've written that down, and I still don't really understand what we're talking about here.
But is it like us talking about the musical and then saying something in relation to the musical?
Yeah, I presume so, yeah. To introduce it, and introduce something that you're then going to go on and talk about.
Is that right?
Is that right?
I'm going to be honest with you.
He's stopped listening.
I stopped listening.
No, okay.
He insulted us, and now he's just stopped listening, and he's eating our Christmas goodies on the get away.
Yeah, no, that's what I think it is. But I don't know if it's like it says to introduce something. So do you go World's Best Dad? Do you have to actually make that announcement?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that's what it means, to introduce something that you're going to say, which is related to the subject you've been talking about.
Yeah, you said that a few times now.
Have I? Anyway.
In World's Greatest Dad, in World's Greatest Dad in the musical, this is when he's got permission to leave the North Pole and to head to New York City. So it through that number, it shows that movement from leaving the North Pole, travelling, past the ice caps and all the rest of it, and then arriving in New York City, which is like
so different,
manic, and crazy for him.
Yeah.
So as he's leaving, he has his wee goodbye conversation with Mr. Narwhal.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what a narwhal... Like, I thought a narwhal was like a made-up fictional...
Right, okay. I can
animal.
see why you thought
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it just seems so ridiculous that there are animals like that on our planet. But...
Why does it...
Well, it's a small Arctic whale, the male of which has a long, forward-pointing, spirally twisted tusk developed from one of its teeth. I mean, why on earth would I ever think that is bizarre?
I know, but it's
do you know
because
what I mean? Like,
there was similarities to a unicorn, as in that.
And unicorns are real, because we see unicorns around the place
but
everywhere,
that's what I mean. Is that why you thought it was made up?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, unicorns and narwhals, fictional.
Okay.
Like puppy dogs and rainbows, that kind of like fantasy.
You sometimes surprise me with the stuff that you don't know. And I mean that.
Cheek.
No, I know.
Okay, see you later. Both of them now.
No, I mean that, like, because sometimes I know the things that you don't know, which makes me feel really clever. Because there's very few things that I know.
Ugh, wise up.
No, but you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. Dead on. But, I mean, look at the picture of that narwhal.
I know, it's very big.
Awful and looks awful.
But it also looks like it's been impaled.
You wouldn't want to be a narwhal, that's for sure.
No. Oh, we got something?
No, not a narwhal.
Very appropriate to a particular situation. So within the context of that lyric, would that make sense?
That would make sense, yeah.
So it just means that whatever's being said is very appropriate to a particular situation.
It's a scene inside a snow globe. It's a very apropos globe. That would make sense.
There you go.
Well
Perfect.
done. That's why he's here.
Another
to insult and occasionally come up with the wins.
And show pictures of narwhals.
They're not an overly impressive looking character.
There you go.
Yeah, it's odd.
So is that what a unicorn's based upon, a narwhal then?
It's a whale and a horse. I don't think
They've
so.
both got a horn on the front of their head. I don't think I'm that far off the mark.
Okay, maybe not.
Do you hear how she talks? Does she talk to you like that, Aaron?
If I'm lucky.
Oh. Well, also, he sings about in The World's Greatest Dad, we'll spend mornings holding hands and making plans on whether to play jacks or kick the can.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to do a wee job for me, Aaron.
Oh, gosh.
Will you look up the rules of kick the can whilst I talk? So, have you ever heard of those games, jacks and kick the can?
Yep.
Never.
Well,
I mean, jacks. Lauren, you amaze me sometimes because you just know so much that I don't know. Now, let's think about this.
No.
Whether to know how to play the game or to know whether a narwhal's real or not. I mean, who wins? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what Jacks is. And
but
then
Jacks
you can
is like an old game that people would have played.
Never played it. I'm not that old,
You're not that old.
Spring chicken me.
Yeah.
So Jacks is a children's game for anyone out there like me who doesn't know, where you throw a ball into the air and then you have to try and pick up as many small, like star-shaped objects as possible with the same hand before catching the ball as it comes down to earth again. Is that the right definition of Jacks, or do you play it a different way?
She does not know.
No.
Correct.
No, I do know because, I do know we used to play a version of that with my dad.
So how did you play your version?
We had little silver sort of like metal things.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and we had to pick them up, but I don't know if they were star-shaped.
Oh, I suppose the shape of the pieces that you had to pick up probably don't matter.
Yeah.
But it was that idea of chucking something in the air and having to pick everything up before catching the ball again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Here you can still buy it. Yeah. $2.95. That's not too bad.
I apologise. She does know what it was.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. See?
What an easy game, though.
So there was that, and then there's marbles. We would have played things like that whenever we were younger, and probably would have played them at my gran and grandpa's house as well. So
we also owned a PlayStation, though, so I don't know why that happened.
I know, and we also played bowls too. Like, I mean, we were quite wholesome.
She grew up in the 30s.
That is wholesome, though.
I know.
Did you have a nice wee white picket fence as well?
Yeah, so I did know. I did.
And did you play? Well, I never said you didn't. To be fair, it was your husband. Do you know how to play kick the can?
No, is kick the can just literally kicking the can?
Well, here's the thing, right? Because I looked it up and the rules went on for pages, and I went, stuff that. I'll just get Aaron to look it up.
Perfect.
So, what, Aaron, have you found Kick the Can?
Yeah.
So, play Kick the Can. Are you ready, folks? Buckle in, you're in for a bumpy ride. But at least this podcast will be about 7 hours long this week. So, to play the Kick the Can with 3 or more friends in any outdoor area that has places to hide day or night. The object of the game is to put all the players in jail, capturing them by identifying them in their hiding spots. So it's just like, what's that, hide and go seek?
Yeah.
Once a player is jailed, the only way to be freed is for another player to beat the person to the can and kick it.
It's literally 1, 2, 3 ICU. What? Just made that up.
1, 2. You need to be in ICU.
1, 2, 3 ICU. You've never played that either.
3, 2, 1. I've lost it.
Hide and go seek.
Hide and go seek, right?
But you just have to run back to the base and go 1, 2, 3. I am free.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. I am free.
See, I had to actually physically do the running part.
I was going to say, you haven't left that chair, Lauren, so don't even go there. Okay, so basically hide and seek. So kick the can is basically hide and seek.
Oh, but I like that you gotta kick the can.
Kick the can. So
just tap something.
There you go. And then there was an awful lot in World's Greatest Dad.
Yeah.
Then he sings, when I fall and scrape my knee, he'll kiss that knee for me and make that boo-boo better in a jiff.
Yeah.
And boo-boo is really cute and means mistake or minor injury. And jiff is like a short time or a moment, which I kind of knew. Like I'll do it in a jiffy. I would say. Yeah. So I kind of knew the jiff, but boo boo's kind of cute.
I also like that he mentions about the back spasm and how all dads have them.
Okay, you cheeky article.
But he does!
I've just told you how I've been to the physio this week because of a back spasm.
But I just like how it's like, he's so in it. Like, he's meant to, well, actually, that's a really beautiful thing about the musical is they don't specify a time, which means you can have a junior version or you can set it.
True.
But, you know, we assume based on the movie that he's a 30-something-year-old, but he's so childlike. Childlike. So the fact that he's like, oh, my dad's going to have a back spasm, you know, because he's old and that's what they have and I will fix it and I'll make it all better. I just think it's cute.
He is wholesome, isn't he, though, as a character?
You said there just about specifying time. You know, jiffy is an actual measurement of time. It's approximately 1 nanosecond.
Never.
No.
That's cool. That's very quick.
Is that like, boom?
No, it's better than that.
Wow.
Let's move on quickly. Okay. Do you have any others?
In the Way, is that a title?
Christmas always gets in our way.
That's it, and I do quite like that song. Carte blanche.
Yes.
This means a complete freedom to act as one wishes, a bit like a blank check. So whenever you're given a blank check, you can put whatever number you want on it.
There we go. Yeah.
I learned about that.
Oh, here.
What?
I've turned my page over and I had one more left for World's Greatest Dad.
What?
He sings, and if I should get a cold or just allergies from mold, he'll gesundheit me with his own handkerchief. I didn't know that I knew it was German. I don't know why, but I thought it was like bless you or excuse you, but it's German for health.
Okay.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. I love it.
Did you think it was like bless you or...
I'm honestly not too sure.
Yeah. Gesundheit. I know some people would say that like dramatically as they're sneezing.
I'd say like bless me.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was like bless you or bless me, but it's actually German for health.
Oh, interesting.
Very good.
Okay. Are you alright there?
No, I think I'm getting the cold again. Either that or those
nuts
and fruit nuts catching. Anyway, moving on.
In Sparklejollytwinklejingley, folderol. Is that right? FOLD.
Yeah, folderol.
It means unnecessary actions or words that have little meaning and make something seem more important or complicated than it really is.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be my new word.
Folderol.
For some of my daughter's stories.
Oh, really?
She's going to be so offended. I did say to her quite recently, she's doing a lot of work as a year 8. And I'm so proud of her. I said, I can't wait till her winter exams are over because if I have to hear about how much revision... She even tested
me when I came in tonight.
How much revision she needs to do, which is great. And I am so glad she's doing it. For these winter exams.
But you would rather she was revising than not revising.
I know, but I don't really care about geography.
She also needs to realise they're like winter exams. It's not like GCSEs at this stage.
I know. But, you know, let's get her into the habit of it before all that. I think it was the whole page of geography she was reading out and she was saying, I need to know this and I need to do that. And we all know how I feel about geography. So I was like, I did actually say to her, do you know he would really love to hear that? Timothy.
She didn't ask me a geography question tonight. She asked me a music question.
She did.
And I think I got the right answer.
Yeah, well, you were able to explain to her.
I hope so. I hope I didn't confuse her. You've just given us a musical lyrical lingo from Sparklejollytwinklejingley.
Yeah.
That's the name of me elf.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that class? Now imagine trying to guess that name.
That's what I was going to say. Imagine.
I literally can stretch it out from the 1st of December to the nearly the day they're leaving.
Yeah, that must be really hard.
It cracks them up. They're raging.
And do you give them clues?
No,
like,
do you not.
Say it's from a musical?
Literally, I give them one letter a day. Okay, what's the letter today? and they'll go I, and I'll go and put the I's in where they should be. That's all you've got. I love it.
So what was it they just like for 24 days in a row? Well, I can't do that. And never mind.
What were you going to say? For 24 days in a row, they give you the letter I? No. What were you going to say?
They give you the wrong, give you letters that aren't in this.
I go, no, it's not there.
And do you give them another go?
No.
You're so mean.
It's their own fault for not picking the right letter.
For how many days?
I know. Never mind.
I mean, she's great at picking out other people's faults, isn't she, at the beginning of this episode? But she doesn't like it when the shoes put on the other foot.
Let's just move on.
I said nothing. It is your husband, to be fair, that's raising this matter.
It is.
20 years of it.
P45.
I'm going to get a t-shirt that says I'm not with executive producer. As in, I don't agree with him.
Oh.
Glad you clarified, thank you.
I'm getting a t-shirt that says I quit. Right.
Okay.
Any other musical lyrical lingos?
Just like him?
When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like him. Boop.
And it mentions just the word fads. I didn't know it, but I just thought I would point it out that this is an intense or widely shared enthusiasm for something like a craze.
Yeah, like a trend or a craze. Yeah. I'm glad you pointed it out because I had it too.
There we go.
He sings, because that song's all about, when I grow up, I'm going to be just like my dad. I'm going to dress like him. I'm going to act like him. So he's singing about suspenders to boot, those aren't the Rocky Horror suspenders. No. Those are the sock suspenders. He's going to wear them just like my dad's up on the latest fad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that kind of got me thinking, isn't it crazy how people do just kind of get caught up in fads, or, maybe they don't take an interest and say, I actually like this. They just kind of go with what everybody else is doing.
And Christmas is a massive time for fads, isn't it? What are the fads this year? What are there's always fads when it comes to presents and stuff, isn't there? The number one gift that's on the list, and it always seems to be something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it's very difficult whenever you've got young kids.
Of course.
If, they are influenced by other people of what they have. We really don't have that problem. Our kids are pretty good, but
your kids are really unique though. They know themselves really well, and they know what they like and what they want. They're not going to follow other people or a trend or a craze.
But I was watching, I'm going to go back to it, Gilmore Girls, and there's a whole episode.
You're obsessed.
I know, I do love it. In a year in the life, Rory is now a journalist, and she has to report on one of the latest fads, one of the latest crazes, and it's just standing in a queue. So all these lines are just popping up everywhere. Sort of people that don't know what a queue means, lines are just popping up everywhere, and
God, you've lost it tonight. Who doesn't know what a queue is?
I'm almost pretty sure that word in America, they don't use queue, they just use line.
That's really interesting, because at the airport on Sunday, Northern Irish people love a queue.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. No. So I'm sitting and, the queue has formed at the departure gate. We're not going anywhere. The plane's only just come into the runway. Do you know what I mean? I'm you're all wasting your time, folks. You may as well sit down. But there was an American woman that was sitting beside us, and she was like, do we, I haven't heard, am I supposed to join the line? And I was like, nah, it's going to Belfast, us Northern Ireland people. We just like to queue. You don't need to worry about it. So, yeah, to be fair, she used the line rather than the queue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That and Fortnite. They don't have...
The game?
No.
No. In America?
No. They don't know that Fortnite means 2 weeks.
So they just say 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, so Rory is having to report, and people are lining up for cronuts, a cross between a croissant and a donut. And then at one part they're lining up, and they get to the front of the queue, and they say, what are you lining up for? And they go, no, we're just eating our lunch. People have just joined the queue, not realising that they're not queuing for anything. So it just made me think about fads.
Look up the Christmas fads for this year.
Christmas fads?
Or Christmas, what are the presents?
The number one present?
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
I haven't heard either, but normally you would hear, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's an interesting one. Fads, I had that as well. Any form of collective behaviour.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of that sheep mentality, isn't it? Like, so if there's a lot of people doing it, then you kind of feel.
As the saying, my favourite musical, follow the fold and stray no more.
There you go. Follow
the fold. Do the same as everybody else.
I mean, some of these things might be on your Santa list.
Not so sure.
Not you never know. Sure. I don't really. I would say it's going to be a lot of technology.
Yeah, and I'm not a technological person.
You know?
That was a lot of syllables in the one word. No, I'm a bit of a technophobe.
Really?
Yeah, I really am. I don't understand it enough. Apparently Pillow Slippers is up there though with
Pillow Slippers.
Yeah, they look absolutely ridiculous.
Pillow Slippers.
You wouldn't go outside in them, would you?
People do. People do. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of like wireless headphones.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And like the latest phone.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a fatty person.
I don't know. What was though your favourite Christmas present whenever you were younger?
Oh lordy days, that's a nightmare of a question.
No, do you not have one that like stands out? I don't. So I'm asking the question.
This is ridiculous. I do remember at like the age of 4 or 5 getting like a mic stand.
Of course you did.
But the mic stand had pedals, right? So the pedals operated lights at the bottom of the mic stand.
That sounds amazing.
It sounds very me, doesn't it? And I do recall Mum was a massive Cliff Richard fan. Mm-hmm. And I do remember putting on like a one-man Cliff Richard concert in the front room using my new mic stand. I was singing the Mistletoe and Wine and everything.
I'm sure that was loved.
Yeah.
Do you still have that mic stand?
No. It was proper class. Like, it was really cool.
That is amazing.
So I do remember that as a present.
Well, that certainly wouldn't have been a fad. Nobody else.
Nobody else would have been doing a one-man performance in the front living room, Lauren. No, that's right.
I'm Cliff
Just
Richard.
Me, Cliff Richard. He was the fad at the time. It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Children singing. Yeah.
Not that anybody was going to ask.
I was going to ask. I know what yours is.
What's mine?
Was it the time you got your ginger beard?
Ginger beard?
Yeah, let's just skip that.
Aaron asked for a ginger beard. This is the sweetest story on earth. One year, Aaron asked Santa for a ginger beard, and Santa gave him a ginger beard, and he ate his Christmas dinner with a ginger beard.
Why did you want a ginger beard?
You have one, you tell me.
Well, I was going to say, was it, when I grow up, I want to be just like him? Me?
That was not my favourite Christmas present.
Me?
Yeah, that's it.
Face like this, who doesn't?
It was a Game Boy. Game Boy. 1 year Santa got me a Game Boy, and then a couple of years later Santa got me a colour TV for my bedroom.
Aww.
Yeah, I threw it out last year. I was absolutely gutted. The colour TV, not the Game Boy. But yeah, we're talking 20 odd years of having that, so
that's good going.
That was pretty good going. There's nothing wrong with it. The wife made me get rid of it.
I mean, you're a bit of a hoarder, as we have discovered.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, you need to get rid of stuff that no longer serves.
And you don't remember any?
No, I remember the first. Or I remember I got a phone one year, and I was really like overjoyed by that. But I just remember, and I always asked for surprises, so anything was just exciting.
Yeah, well, I was a bit like that too. Like, I was never an overly demanding child. Surprise, you would never think, would you? I only got demanding as I got older. So yeah, no, it was a lot of surprises, and I think probably just so fortunate as well that you would have got so many lovely things that it's hard to remember, ones that really stand out.
I think that's it. I do remember one year, if we're talking about fads though, getting a fur baby. Do you remember that?
I didn't get one of them, but I do remember them.
Yeah, I remember.
In fact,
that.
I've taken great pleasure. There's I'm a bit funny with watching random videos on my phone, and there's this guy that does these videos of putting items in then a press
yes, I love that
hydraulic press thing which squashes everything.
The best one is Skittles.
Yeah,
it can squeeze it out.
It is a bit weird though, isn't it? Those videos, because you watch them and you're like, you could end up watching a video like that for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But he squashes a Furby, and I got huge enjoyment out of that because they were so flippin' annoying. Those and Tamagotchis, do you remember them?
Love Tamagotchi.
So Tamagotchis were like these stupid pocket-sized, like
little,
can you call them even computer-y kind of things? They were like a computerized pet, and you had to feed it, and you had to make it go to the poop and all the rest of it, like just ridiculous.
we had to feed it, so then naturally it needed to poo.
But it did poo. It did poo, and like it was like meow. Stupid.
It was too demanding
stupid.
of your time.
Too demanding of my
You
time.
can still get them £15 on Amazon.
Are you serious? Who
Bandai.
would want something like that? It's
Did
ridiculous.
you sell?
Yeah, I do remember getting the kids one not that long ago.
Really?
Yeah, I think they played with it for like 3 days and then they were done.
Not for me, thanks. Please don't buy a
Wasn't in colour.
Tamagotchi for my Christmas present. Please don't.
Tamagotchi.
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 Gotcha. Do you have any other musical lyrical lingos?
No, that is me.
I've got one more, and it's a bit of a daft one.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. In Never Fall in Love with an Elf, which is a really funny song that Jovi sings about basically having feelings for Buddy. She sings, the line ends with Philadelphia, and the way the song's written, it, like, doesn't fit with the rhythm or the rhyme of the song. But how many syllables does Philadelphia have?
Never even thought about that.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
It's 5. Seems like longer.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philadelphia. But she has to go Fia at the end.
Oh.
Listen to the song. It's quite good.
No, I have listened to the song.
Yeah, no, I'm saying to listen to
Oh,
it.
right, okay, sorry.
That's why. Lauren, that's why I looked at the mic. That's why I looked at the mic, but I said, give it a listen, have a listen. I would really hope you've listened to it, considering we do the podcast together, and hopefully we have listened to the musicals that we're talking about.
To be fair, I don't think the microphone requires eye contact to work, so...
But surely she would have known I was looking at the mic and not looking at her. Anyway, it's just the squint I've developed in the last hour. Starting to twitch now as well. It's going from bad to worse. It's because I've taken my Christmas hat off. I'm putting it back on
You need
again.
to put it back on, get the
And
spirit.
be like Buddy the Elf.
Can I tell you a fun story? It's probably not a fun story.
Well, you built it up now.
Oh no, it's really not even a fun story. I don't know if I should continue. Anyway, whenever I was doing my research and listening to the album,
and that song.
And that song in particular, and then I like to, whenever I'm listening to the music, pull the lyrics up at the same time, just so that I'm saying, oh, is there a word there? Because I don't have the best hearing. So, I happened to click on what I thought was the next song. Mm-hmm. But the music, the next song musically didn't come on. And it started going, Christmas bells are ringing. And I was reading this and I was going, this is so... Sorry, that was completely out of tune. Anyway, I was like, this is really like Rent. This is... And then it says like homeless.
Yeah.
3. And
Same
I was
thing
like,
happened to me.
did it happen to you?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. I put it down in my fun fact to talk about on the podcast. I was like, isn't it really funny how they've taken some lyrics from Rent? And then I realised, no, this is just the song from Rent.
That they've put into the wrong folder.
They've put into the wrong folder.
No, I thought I came across that too.
Okay.
But Christmas Bells was my song in Rent.
I know it was, yeah.
And I also was out of tune when I sang it as well. Christmas bells are ringing. I sound like a strangled cat.
You're meant to be a homeless person, so I was just in character there.
Homeless people in this
Sound like strangled cats, clearly. Yeah.
person, the homeless person. Pitch.
Yeah, so that just... I
Fun.
was like...
Yeah, no, the same thing happened to me as well. Very good.
So I had to score that out there because I was like, that's not a fun fact of the musical.
But do you have any other fun facts or any
no, just
other musical
what I
lyric
sort of said at the beginning, just that it did take a while to get made, and just I love that literally from the premiere of the movie, somebody turned around and said, that'll make a great musical.
Yeah. I mean, I think it really does. There's an element of Disney to it at the beginning, especially in Christmas Town, with all like the elves and stuff. So I got to choreograph it, and it was hilarious from start to finish.
Really?
Because imagine trying to choreograph people who are on their knees because they're having to be, Christmas elves.
That's right.
So that was really good fun. There was lots of knee pads we went through,
And it
lots
wasn't a
of
junior
bruises and stuff.
version. It was,
Nope, it was the full.
Love it.
The full thing, yeah. We also had Dancing Santas, because there is a song in it called Nobody Cares About Santa Claus, where it's all the Santas that are feeling a wee bit
Left out.
hard done by because nobody cares about them. And I also had to choreograph ice skating. So that's a lot in one show.
Gosh, that is a lot.
People on knees, ice skating. How do you choreograph ice skating?
Did you get help from a lovely Wendy for the ice skating?
No, just I skated my way around.
Did you?
Yeah,
Do you?
I'm like a swan, graceful.
Even on ice?
Even on ice, even though there's no ice.
Especially on ice.
Did you not?
They were ice skating in the scene. Like, they go to Rockefeller Centre to see the Christmas tree. So I wanted to have the ice skaters at Rockefeller, because the way there's the wee ice rink there and stuff.
So say
But they weren't actually on ice.
Christmas 2003 into New Year of 2004, did you not refuse to do that ice skating at Rockefeller Centre?
100%.
I know you did.
I've never ice skated. I
know.
refused to do it. Is that what you...
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the ice skating in the show.
No, I'm talking about in real life.
Oh,
You're definitely
God,
not
no.
a swan because you refused to do it when we were in New York.
I'm not stupid. My legs and my ankles are my livelihood. Why would I put them...
We were 17.
Correct. Why would I put myself in such danger of
But you're in New York.
falling and breaking an ankle or breaking a knee and never dancing again? Like, that's how I make my money.
That's it.
My dancing career. Let me dance for you. Imagine if I had fallen and or, I have a real phobia. I don't think I'm a phobia person, but the one thing that I freak out about secretly and quietly in my head, this is the first time I've told anybody this, is I imagine if I was to go ice skating that I would fall. Right? And then somebody goes over my fingers and cuts them off. I've had dreams. I've had dreams where that has
I
happened.
think that's a common fear.
Okay, so I'm
with
nuts.
ice skating.
So I answer your question then. That's why I want my fingers.
Yeah. And
and I need to protect my livelihood, which is my dancing legs.
you got them insured for £1 million.
You're saying that, but I've said that many times.
That you need to insure.
I should have insured my legs and my ankles.
I mean, I just love everything that comes out of your mouth. It's just hilarious. You should have insured your legs.
Yeah.
Well, I just love that you just said you were as graceful as a swan, but yeah, you refused to go on the ice rink for a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Me, what you will... If you listen back to the podcast, I described myself as being graceful as a swan as I was doing my ice skating when preparing for the show. I didn't say anything about real ice skating because I'm not stupid. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. All right. So how were you able to ice skate in the show? Not you, but how did you do that?
We managed it, folks. We managed it.
Did you put ice in the stage? No. It was just a...
Very clever choreography.
Ah, wow.
I did. Do you know what? I did enjoy working on that show. And then we went into the theatre and it wasn't the right theatre for the show.
Oh, that's
it wasn't
always
the right
disappointing.
venue. And I was like, it would have been so brilliant if it had been in another venue. But hey ho, you can't choose your venue, can you? And our body was brilliant, really good fun. However, it's a part I would love to play.
Yeah, I could always see you do that.
I would love to give body a go.
I could always see you do that.
Because I do think I'm a bit nuts in real life.
I think you would bring a completely different energy to it, actually, because I don't think you would be totally manic, but you would have that innocence that obviously Buddy needs.
Because I am innocent.
Yeah. 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 I like a couple of things from the musical that is different to the film. I like that they got so they discovered this during the workshop, that it was just too long, and it wasn't. It was taking them too long to get out of the North Pole and into New York. And I love that they kind of cut Papa Elf and just made it Santa, because it just makes more sense for the musical to kind of get there.
And it's almost instantaneous, isn't it? I think literally you've got the intro to the show, like, you know, the whole storybook, opening the storybook, Once Upon a Time, and then you've got that number, Christmas Town, and then he's straight into World's Greatest Dad, where he's on his journey out of there. It doesn't hang around. No,
it's good. And the Papa Elf obviously works in the movie, but this kind of just works better for the musical, and it also makes more sense as to why at the end they're really getting together for Santa, because I feel like in the musical he has more of a relationship with Santa than he does in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so I like that, and I just think it has that really good feel good factor.
It is feel good, isn't it? Like, you can't help. And it's another one of those shows that at the end they kind of do like a wee mix match of like some of the numbers that you've had before, and they're all in their like sparkly white and silvers, and it almost has a panto-esque feel to it too. Do you know what I mean? It's a really good show for if you don't want to go to a panto, but you want that kind of similar feel of theatre. It's perfect. It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, it's not too highbrow for young kids. Like, they're going to get loads out of it. Do you know what I mean? Which sometimes I think Christmas shows can be a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like, us adults deserve a nice wee Christmas show too. But a lot of Christmas shows cater towards kids. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think some of them hit and miss the mark sometimes, because they just are, they almost take themselves too seriously.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And for a Christmas show, you need a bit of panto mentality, don't you?
Sparklejollytwinklejingley. You know, I think just even a song title like that, it just kind of lets you know what type of musical or entertainment that you're in for. I did read a quote where it said that Elf sort of shows that musicals don't have to win on Broadway to get the recognition and be loved in other theatres around the world. So though it's not on Broadway every year, because the same thing happened to, maybe we'll do it in 2024, Grinch musical. People loved it that first year, but the second year the sales sort of just dropped a little bit, and you would wonder why, because it's the same.
Yeah, that's it.
Bringing in that joy.
I know somebody who does, shows at Christmas, every year. But they're really clever in what they do, and they've got 4 or 5 different titles, and they almost just rotate them on a 4 or 5 year basis. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because they're all titles that work at Christmas time. They're all titles that have audiences coming, but if they were to do it every year, they wouldn't get the audiences. Yeah. So they just rotate it round, and it works an absolute treat. So, that's...
And I think it works in the likes of Amdram or Elf Junior, Junior, because you can adapt the story a little bit to suit who your cast are. But I have a feeling now, though, because this production, which is currently on at the moment, is going down really well.
Yeah.
People are loving it. That it will become a bit of a staple in London, maybe.
Well, it seems to be with that Dominion Theatre, because I kind of feel like after... So We Will Rock You was in the Dominion Theatre for a very long period of time. Then it came out, I suppose, American in Paris with our lovely friends, the wee Rainey. It was in for a decent amount of time.
True.
But ever since that, nothing that's gone in has remained for more than a year. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right, but I think because the pandemic has sort of happened,
and that happened as well. But I even think a few years prior to the pandemic, it was just that the shows that were going in there were maybe for limited editions, or maybe didn't go as long as maybe had forward planning they had thought. And it kind of seems to have become, because it's a bit of a revolving door. There's a lot of in and out. It opens itself up for a Christmas season every year there. Yeah. And before Elf kind of went in, big.
Yeah.
That seemed to become like a Christmas kind of musical special. It had gone in 1 or 2 times prior to that, and now it seems to be the last 3 years in a row at Christmas time, Elf has been in the Dominion. You know, so if that theatre continues as it is, where they don't have like a regular,
like a long
running show, like it's perfect because it's humongous, like so they can fill. And they can make their money on a short, limited Christmas season. Do you know what I mean? If they sell all those tickets, like, it's clever, like.
Yeah, no, I think so. And it gives somebody a different, as you said, a different option to a pantomime.
Yeah.
You know, which people now associate with Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know, like, is Panto... I feel like Panto started to, like, lull. There seemed to be, like, a bit of a lull in pantomimes. But it seems to have, like, re-energized or rejuvenated itself. I don't know. Like, the London Palladium now do, like, massive pantos. And it seems to be that's kind of, like, catapulted pantos back into the forefront of a Christmas season. Do you know what I mean? I know they've always happened, but it's almost like the excitement or the buzz around panto. Maybe it started to... And maybe that was a COVID break as well. I don't know. Yeah,
I think that, or I feel that happens with pantomimes. It sometimes gets used to get a really bad name, that actors in particular would have gone into panto just to get a bit of work. And they would have been done by every local performance company in your area. So there was maybe about 50,
every church hall had a pantomime.
So, and then it's kind of gone where actually... They're really entertaining, and if you get a good script and you get a really good cast, it is a great night. And there's always the innuendos and everything, that there's something for the whole family. And I think with the Palladium, what they've done is they've been clever in who they're choosing, and it's people who are current and people who are bringing in.
I mean, their cast this year is unbelievable. Like, I know Jennifer Saunders is playing
Captain Hook,
which is really cool.
I know,
isn't it?
I know. And Gillian Clary is Smee.
Yeah,
which is fab. But wasn't last year Ian McKellen? Or was that?
Oh, so that was a... They did a tour in Panto last year, which, like, it's been a long time since those have happened. He was in Mother Goose, wasn't he? With, what was the comedian guy?
The Liverpudlian comedian.
Joe Bishop.
That's it.
Yeah. And again, for him, that was, like, new. Yeah, so Jennifer Saunders and Gillian Clary are like frontlining the Palladium one this year with a supporting cast of the ventriloquist guy, Paul Zerdin, then Nigel Havers, Gary Wilmot, Rob Madge, who has just become like a super duper like star.
And I think that that's another fabulous example of TikTok and people really getting behind the person.
Yeah.
And appreciating their talent.
Yeah.
They are playing Tinkerbell.
Yeah. That's really cool. They played the cow last year.
That's right. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So there we go. Go to your nearest pantomime, folks. Support the arts. And if you're close to the Palladium, go and see that.
Absolutely. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Do you remember years ago they used to televise pantomimes that maybe like stars would have been in, and they don't really do that anymore? And I think that's a sign that pantomimes have got
that would be
popular.
Good. The pantomime in Belfast looks good this year as well.
It does look good. And it's already been announced what next year's is.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, it's always a good one.
I put my CV in.
What for?
Peter Pan.
To be Peter Pan?
Absolutely.
A lost boy.
Excuse me.
How long has he been lost for?
Yeah, a very long time. And can I just say, I was never a lost boy.
No, but Peter Pan is a lost boy.
Oh, right.
That's what I was trying to get at, you being a boy.
Peter Pan never grows up.
Yeah, but you have.
Oh my goodness. Can I just state I was never a lost boy, by the way?
No,
the last time I did Peter Pan, I was cast as Michael. Thank you very much.
You were.
Yeah.
In your slipper and your nightgown.
My nightgown and my top hat. Yes. And my umbrella.
I know. You were quite good, Michael.
Oh, thanks. It's awful kind of you. I flew through the rafters with my best friend, Sonia.
You did?
Yeah. Anyway, that was really good fun. 2 Christmassy, even though I was insulted at the beginning of the second one, 2 Christmassy episodes in the 1 week. I tell you, we're far too kind.
Absolutely, and I am looking forward to our next episode. Keep sending us in your favourite moments.
Yes, so keep them coming. We've got some.
Yeah.
But we want more. Or it'll be a 4-hour special when we get going on ours. So, your favourite moments, your favourite one-liners, your favourite slip-ups or muck-ups, or just moments that you put your hand in your head. There I go again.
Oh no.
Head in your hands and went, what are they talking about? Yeah, let us know. Send them to us on our socials.
Yeah. And as always, keep liking and sharing with your friends and family or even strangers in the street. Hey, have you listened to Musical Lyrical Lingo?
I mean,
get on it.
If you've already given a wee like or like a wee 5-star rating, just think of it as a Christmas present and give us another one. That would be brilliant. Can you give more than one?
I think once you like and rate it,
can you not just like the episodes? Can they not just go through every episode and give them 5-star, 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 5-star?
I don't think so.
Okay, look into that, folks, would you? And if you can, that would be great.
That would be good.
So tell you what, we're going to give you a Christmas mission.
Oh.
So if you want to be really lovely to us this Christmas, all we want for Christmas is for you to tell 3 other people about our podcast. How's about it?
I love it. All I want for Christmas is to tell 3
people about the podcast.
To tell 3 people.
Spread the word as far as you can.
About our podcast.
I want a podcast recording for Christmas. Only musical lyrical do for me. I don't want the rhinoceroses. All I want is musical lyrical lusses. And musical lyrical lusses love you too. Till next week. Bye. Ho ho ho.